The first blow wasn't his fist. It was the word stranger spat across the porch my dad built plank by plank. 11 years gone, and I was the trespasser in my own blood. The new husband, Victor Hale, reeked of stale whiskey and entitlement. Behind him, my mother Clara clutched the door like it might swallow her whole. I tasted copper before I felt pain, but I didn't swing back. I just stared, calm as winter water, because the deed in my suitcase already owned every splinter of that boatyard. Walk away and let them auction my father's soul for pocket change? Or reclaim what he'd measured, cut, and loved into existence? I'd fled Maine at 23 with one duffel and a promise to outrun grief. Boston swallowed me, steel towers, impossible deadlines, clients who worshipped my drawings. Success muted the ocean's roar for a while. But guilt has its own tide. Dad, Thomas Reed, had been a shipwright who could read waves in wood grain. His yard sat where salt met spruce, every boat a vow. He died mid-dream, sketches unfinished on his bench. Mom unraveled thread by thread, first the stories, then the tools. When Victor swept in with investor promises and city suits, I was too exhausted to fight. I thought distance was mercy. From Boston, I wired money yearly, taxes, repairs, anything to keep foreclosure at bay. Love via Venmo, I told myself. I didn't know Victor was rewriting history, convincing Mom my silence meant surrender. Her email arrived like a gut punch. Subject: yard sale. Body: we're letting go. Sign here. 10 grand for 30 years of calluses. I didn't rage. I went Arctic. Victor's slime coated every line. Quick flip, no questions. The man who'd never met my father now priced his legacy like scrap. I flew north through bruised skies. The cab driver hummed Springsteen while pines blurred past. Every mile dragged me backward into a smaller skin. The house looked haunted. Dad's carved sign, Reed and Daughter, Custom Craft, EST 1982, lay splintered in weeds.
Avini Libanese crime de Marine Solution.
The porch sagged, paint peeling like old scabs. Mom opened the door smaller than memory, smile brittle. Lila. Victor loomed behind her. 30-something going on foreclosure. The prodigal, he sneered. Come to beg. I came for the yard. He laughed, stepped past Mom, blocking the threshold. This isn't your home anymore. The punch landed clean. Mom gasped but reached for him. Not me. That was the real fracture. I straightened, blood threading my lip. You're right, I said. It's not my home. I turned down the steps. But it's not yours either. His curses chased me to the road. I didn't flinch. Clarity cut sharper than his knuckles. Motel rooms smelled of bleach and brine. I pressed ice to my cheek and opened the vault on my laptop. 11 years of payments, Dad's final letter, the original deed. My 19-year-old scrawl in the margin, property restricted to hand-built watercraft. Violation triggers reversion. Victor never read past the dollar signs. I called Marcus Hale, no relation, the attorney who'd drafted Dad's will. Voice like gravel and goodwill. They hit you and try to sell what isn't theirs. Emergency injunction files at dawn. That clause is ironclad.
2 Uhr nachts.
I drove to the water. Yard lights blazed. Through grimy windows Victor paced, phone glowing, while workers shrink-wrapped fiberglass shells, Chinese kits wearing Reed stickers.
2 Uhr nachts.
I drove to the water. Yard lights blazed. Through grimy windows Victor paced, phone glowing, while workers shrink-wrapped fiberglass shells, Chinese kits wearing Reed stickers. I smiled in the dark. Sell away, thief. Dawn bled pink over the courthouse. Marcus carried a briefcase thick as guilt. I carried Dad's tape measure, yellowed but true. Sheriff trailed us to the yard. Victor was mid-sip when we entered. Resin stench choked the air where cedar once sang.
Morning, Marcus said.
Court says freeze everything. Victor blinked slow. Clara signed. Forgery. I cut in, laying the deed on the bench like a royal flush.
Plus fraude, embezzlement, assaut.
He lunged. Sheriff caught his wrist midair. Mom appeared in the doorway, robe askew, eyes finally clear. Victor, enough. They're stealing our future. You stole his past, she whispered.
Cuffs clicked.
Victor sagged, all fight leaking out with the whiskey. You'll pay for this.
Already did, I said.
Every month for 11 years. They hauled him past the trailer of fake boats. I called, impound those two. Evidence. Silence crashed in after the cruiser left. Mom slid down the doorframe, sobbing without sound.
I didn't know, she said.
Loneliness isn't permission. Marcus cleared his throat. Audit starts tomorrow. Yard's yours, Lila. I walked the floorboards until my palm found Dad's initials hidden under grime. The wood remembered. We'll strip the lies. I told the empty racks. Rebuild true. Mom's hand found my shoulder, tentative. Can you forgive?
Later, I said.
First, we measure twice. Sunset painted the windows gold. I set Dad's compass dead center on the bench. North steady, heart finally home.